Nelson, that is. Quite shocking.
Oh, baby, your fever that I'm learning to live with. Still got an itch in the back of my throat, lingering from my first kiss. So distilling each other's spit in the backseat, carving poetry in our ribs. I pulled out every one of my teeth, but I can still taste the strawberries from your lips. So baby, I'm fever, and I'm sick, sick, sick. Somebody write a prescription, I need a fix.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It is yours truly, the Lord. Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed. The big guy with the big show from Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with 5 Royals Entertainment. And ladies and gentlemen, you see these 2 young men right here, you know, they're pretty cool, and they're from a place that I'm a little bit familiar with, but we'll get into it, you know, in a little bit, talk about that. But as always, I like to read a little something about them, and we're going to get into this. We're going to dive into it. We're going to delve into their greatness, man. So ladies and gentlemen, my next guests are full of that infectious and incredible energy that hits you with that "we're going to make you move" mentality that is so unforgettable. So when I say dope vocals, check. Dope guitars, check. Dope drums, check. There is no denying what these amazing musicians bring to the table, and their stage show complements the energy of their marvelous music and takes you on a ride of pure entertainment. I like that. It's real talk, man. It's real talk. My brothers and sisters, I now welcome to the Live and Loud with the Lord show, Andrew and John of the Awesome Band, socially problematic children. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on? Thank you for having us.
Hey, your world, man. It's all love, man. Just like I always like to start off, though, is first question is, where are you from?
We are from West Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
Say that again?
West Bridgewater.
West Bridgewater. And see, I was just trying to see if he's going to, put that little accent on that water when he said it. Yeah, see, because I have, my sisters. I have 2 sisters that live in Boston, and one's in Somerville, one's in Chelsea, and my nieces and nephews and stuff like that, man. So I was just up there not too long ago, man. So I always have a good time when I go up there, man. So Massachusetts. So what's the best thing about being from where you're from?
Oh man. It's funny you say that, actually. I feel like we've done a lot of traveling and stuff lately, and it's really the first time. I feel like everybody gets so used to where they live and, you know what I mean, just what they feel about it being there for so long. But I've come to just all the places I've been, no hate on anywhere else, but I love Massachusetts. I love coming back home. And best part, definitely not the weather. But I don't know. Do you have any?
Probably, because I've lived here my whole life, my whole 23 years of life. I do like, for myself at least, that it's quiet around here. From where we are, it's very quiet, and so when we go to bigger cities and stuff, it's very exciting. So
it's a good contrast. You can you want, quiet, keep to yourself. There's areas for that. You want the city, go straight to Boston. You know what I mean? You get a little of everything.
So how close are you guys to the water? Are you really close?
Yeah, we're actually only a half hour or so away from the Cape, and so same thing with Boston. Actually, we're pretty central to a lot of good areas.
No, indeed, 30 minutes, that's nothing to get here and there, and still be away from all the madness, man. Because that Boston traffic can be crazy, man.
It's nuts.
Even on Sundays.
Yeah.
So really. So talk about, Massachusetts is big on higher education, sports, great food, and history. So how was music able to grab your attention above everything else that the state has to offer?
I feel like that was kind of just an upbringing thing. Our dad was really into, tons of different music, but mostly, we grew up on Kiss, Metallica, things like that. And I'm sure you can tell how that influenced us. But I I don't know. I think it was less a product of our environment, more just, I guess what we grew up around at home.
Got you. So out of all those great sports you have, what's your favorite one?
Football.
Is it football?
Football the whole way.
So of course, because you guys got the history, man. Come on, man. The Patriots.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. So listen, I understand that, but listen, you got the Bruins, you got the Red Sox. What else is up there that you guys have? Am I missing anything?
Celtics.
The Celtics, of course. I'm a Laker fan, so I apologize, man.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
I might have just missed that on purpose. But nah, the Celtics great also, man. No disrespect to him, man. Much love to him, man. From Larry Bird and all of them to the present. Hey, guys are the champions, the winners. That's what's up, man. It's love. So let's talk about the genesis of the band. Who's the architect of SPC?
I think it's tough to say, to be very honest. We're very lucky where, so if you couldn't tell, myself, John, and our singer, Steven, are actually brothers. So
okay.
What's cool about that is everything's divided up pretty evenly. It's like, as we all kind of play different roles. Like I handle a lot of like the business side of things, like as far as booking and things like that. But as far as writing goes, it could be, he's come up with a lot of our best songs kind of just on his own. We've had our singer just send us all of a sudden, hey, here's a full demo of this whole song I wrote, and then we'll just kind of add different things. What's nice about it is there's a lot of moving parts, but there's not just like one person we have to rely on for everything. We can kind of all help each other out.
No, I think that's the way it should be, man. When, everybody's allowed to be creative, it makes better music to me, because you're free.
Definitely.
You don't feel like you're hampered or, locked down like I have to do it this way. You respect the creativity that the other band member brings. So that's love, man. Then you guys are brothers too, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's love. So has this been the same lineup or has the lineup changed?
So it's been obviously the core of the three of us being brothers has always been the same. That's kind of how it started. We were a three-piece for a very long time. And I think as just the music grew, we kind of knew we had to add other people because we were recording songs that were definitely at a higher stature than like we could perform live well enough.
Gotcha.
So we were just, at first it just started like having friends, fill in and things like that. But then we added our guitar player, Alex, permanently just for being friends with him for so long. Mm-hmm. Bass player wise, we've had a few different people now kind of just in and out, just trying to help us out. Because John here actually started as our bass player, but was a much better guitar player in our opinion. So that we kind of went that way just for sake of the music. And, we're still trying to figure it out. But I think the four of us right now is probably the most solid we've ever been.
Awesome. And listen, so you say he was once your bass player, now John's the guitar player. So I always like, being that I don't play an actual instrument, but when I look at you guys, man, it's like you can go from here to there. So John, how easy was that for you to go from bass to lead?
Honestly, I've pretty much have learned like multiple instruments throughout time, just because that's one thing I enjoy is just music itself. So, I mean, my mom got me a bass, and the first thing I did was I printed out like pretty much Green Day tablature and just went from there because they're my favorite band. And so I understood like just what good bass players sound like and like what they mean to like rock itself. So I've decided like, if I'm going to learn bass and be the only one who learns bass, that's what I'll do. And then just later on, I started learning more scales and practicing guitar a lot more. So as I got older, I've learned like, I feel like I write songs a lot better just by playing guitar rather than, just having a bass in my hand. So.
Got you. Awesome. Well, you dudes bring an energy and passion that can rival any other band out there to me. So what do you attribute this amazing energy and passion
to? And to be honest, it's excitement. We really love what we do. And it's like, I'm sure a lot of bands start like this, maybe on their own or whatever. We were really lucky enough, again, being brothers, where like, it wasn't just one of us, up in our room, just hammering away at songs, just really excited to learn. Like, we really had the blessing of all doing it together. So for years and years and years, we just spent like, we were up in the attic, just learning songs together, playing stuff. And then like, we got a lot better than we realized because we weren't playing in front of people. And then once we started to, people really responded well. So we were like, okay, if we're already feeling so comfortable with it, like, all our favorite bands, they put on a show, so let's really try to bring that. And it came kind of effortlessly in the sense of just, we were so excited that people liked it and that people cared. So we just wanted to give all that back.
Awesome. Well, when I look at your videos, like what's playing behind me, it's plain to see the enjoyment you have performing with each other. So how easy or hard has it been to appreciate each other's personalities beyond the music, even though you're brothers? So I know you guys, come on, man.
Yeah. It's funny because like, we don't really beef like a lot of brothers do. We're very close, which is cool. But like, I don't know, I feel like we have the benefit of being friends outside of just, I guess, being family, which is cool. So like, there's never been an issue, I guess, with expressing how much we, appreciate each other as far as like music and stuff like that. So we don't butt heads as much as
probably teenage years was when that all was happening, and when we were a three-piece. And as we all got older, it was more of just like, let's probably stop any conflict we have and just, get to work on making this a better product than it was, however many years ago. So
I'm hearing John say that, right? He said, how many years ago? He said it. John, you did say you were 23, right?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, you did say you were 23, right?
I am, yeah.
So he said, like, when we were just our teenage years, wasn't too long ago. And so I was just like, listen, I'm an older guy. So, but it just made me laugh mentally. I was just like, that's funny to me. So how do you guys handle the writing and producing for the band? I think you touched on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Again, writing is super collaborative. We're very fortunate for that. Everybody's got song ideas. We actually have like a big Google Drive. We just kind of throw all our ideas in together. So that's nice. Where we're like, if we're working on a song and we're stuck, we got, just this huge bank of, it's funny actually with how little songs I feel like we have out. We have so many ready and so many just, in the box, kind of like, when the time is right type of thing.
I understand.
So, that's great. But like, as far as recording and stuff, we did a lot of it ourselves when we started. None of that is actually out anymore. We didn't think it was the greatest stuff, but yeah, no, I mean, it was great songs, I feel like, but we just weren't capturing them right. So we were like, all right, we gotta outsource. So we went to a friend of ours named Chris Paquette. He has No Boundaries Studios in Rhode Island. He does everybody around here. He actually recently signed with Sony, and he's been working with much bigger artists too. So it's really cool to see, to be able to work with someone that's a friend of ours, but then also see his career grow. It makes you feel good about what you're doing. Like, there's more to it than just like, working with a buddy. Like, he always captures everything how we wanted to. The stuff we're working on now, we're actually working at a different studio. Just wanted to try something new. That's with a buddy of ours named Alex Heeman. But he kind of has just been doing it independently for a while. So we're just trying to kind of find what fits the music best and, try out different options. So no set, like, we always go to one place type thing. Just wherever's going to do the best.
Well, it's been sounding great, man. And listen,
thank you.
The other stuff that you have, man, don't ever throw that stuff away, man. I hope it's in the vault somewhere. Keep that, man. Yeah. You never know. You never know what people are going to like, man. We know we love what we do. But sometimes, man, something to catch fire that you'll never know, man. So never get rid of it. Don't delete it.
I will say, I think the best part about us in that sense, as far as like the writing and stuff, is as soon as people think they have what we sound like figured out, it's nice to know that we got so much different stuff that we're pulling from. Like, it's really cool. Like, it's not even just like a, cool thing to say. Like, it really is awesome how many influences we have, because if something's not working, we have so much of another thing that we're just always prepared.
Well, it just speaks to your talent and creativity. And like I've said many times before the bands, I remember watching Quincy Jones on Chuck D from Public Enemy was interviewing him. And so Quincy Jones said, what you do is you take one thing from 10 of the bands that you love, one thing from each of them, and then you have your own style. it'll be yours. You know, nobody else will have it. It'll be your own thing. So when you say that you pull from these other things, you probably already have that and don't even know it. So that's a great thing, man. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
So what's better, making the music or performing it?
Ooh, you can take that.
I'm performing it all the way. Presenting it to people is probably the best feeling ever, because you feel like, all right, let's say that we haven't even released it yet or even recorded it yet. If we'll just play it live to get the feel of how people feel about it first,
Right.
I think that's a much better way of going from there. So I'd probably say performing, honestly.
Awesome. Well, so what's the music scene like up there where you guys are?
It's not bad. It's pretty cool. It's very active. I would say the only thing that might work against bands sometimes, and I guess it's a good thing to, the scene around us, is there are so many bands, like an unbelievable amount. Like people would never know how many hundreds of bands are from one area.
It's real talk.
It's awesome as far as like there's no shortage. If you're super into a certain kind of music, chances are there's 20 bands that are doing a similar type of thing. We've always strived to do something a little different, so I don't know that I can say necessarily the same thing about us, but there's definitely other bands you would be interested in if you liked us. So like the scene itself is very active. It's hard it makes bands like us want to branch out a little more, only because there's just so much going on in one spot. You want to let it breathe for a while,
Got you. I love it. So this a normal question. Who's your favorite band or artist from another genre? Maybe it's not.
Ooh, another genre.
Yeah.
You
can go first. If you have one.
I want to make you think. That's what I want to make you think.
No, it's good. That's a good question.
A band from another genre?
Mm-hmm.
Or just artists.
Artists. Honestly, like, I'll say it. I have been kind of a big Michael Jackson head for a while. I think he just, like, the grooves that are in that music and like how hard they had to work to get all that out there, and him just being like a genius. He didn't even have to learn an instrument. He just like played it like just by singing it, which is I don't know. I've never met anybody or have known anybody who can do that.
Yeah, his voice is an instrument, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would consider him like the GOAT of, probably like top 3 of all time artists.
Just songwriting.
Yeah, in the world.
Really?
I'd say, yeah, he changed the whole world.
That's Michael Jackson, which he is one of the greatest. I'm not going to disagree with you. I just like Prince more. I mean, he is a Nelson. So like Prince Rogers Nelson, I used to tell my children forever that we were related. I don't know. We might not be. In my head, we've been related. I just love the fact that Prince played all the instruments. He had his vocal range was crazy. And, he and Michael Jackson are right there. But, I put Prince just a little bit above Michael Jackson, even though Michael Jackson is great. So I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Oh, yeah, I can respect that completely, yeah.
But I am definitely a Prince fan. The big guy, I cried when Prince died, man. I watched that, how they CNN will come on, you watch stuff for a whole, man, my wife and I, we didn't turn it off, man. I just sat there and looked, and I was just like, man, my cousin died, man. So it was just like,
no, you'd be surprised sometimes when people have that kind of impact on you, and then something like that happens. It feels personal.
Yeah, so me growing up, man, it was just a lot of, but no doubt, Michael Jackson, woof. Man, because I did I have where I do the classic album review also, and I did Off the Wall by Michael Jackson, which is an amazing album. And that was like his first big thing, man. So anyway, an amazing album. So I'm going off on a tangent, man. I get
no, you're good, man.
So what do you believe is the benefit of incorporating other dope elements of other genres into your music?
I think just the expansion of who can listen to us and get something from it.
Right.
I know a lot of artists say that and they strive for it, but then sometimes you'll notice those same artists like kind of pigeonhole themselves without realizing that they did. So for us, we're always trying to just really take a big step back. Like once something's out, we just almost forget that it was ever ours and just let it exist in the world. And kind of just like look at ourselves like, okay, what's the next thing that's maybe not what someone's expecting? Not for the benefit of always just switching up, but more so for like, I want to be able to have somebody have never heard of us before and not just listen to the top 5 on Spotify and get bored with it. I want, even just from the first song to the second, to be different enough where people can maybe spark a little more interest. You know what I mean? Find more of what they like. Like if you're into, more like poppier, like, even pop punk, things like that. Like I'm sure there's something within our music you can find. If you're into a lot heavier music, like harder, like hardcore and metal and stuff, there's definitely stuff you can find. We try to just stay like middle of the road, give as much of something for everybody as we can. And I think we've only just begun as far as that goes.
Awesome. I love that perspective and mindset, man. That's great, man. That's a great answer. Actually, I love it. So your first full-length album, SPC, is amazing. So how hard or easy was it to record this album?
Oh, man. I would say it wasn't hard necessarily. It was just so much trial and error. That was the one that we did ourselves. And that one, it was a great time, I think, because it was so much of our personality just poured into it. But would we ever do it again? Probably not, just because of it really just took so much.
Great, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I think it wasn't that bad. It was more just like we would so much rather be able to deliver as far as like performance and like emotion and stuff like that rather than stress so hard over the production. But so it wasn't hard. It was more just taxing at the end of the day.
Those elements though will come back on future music, I'm sure, though.
Definitely.
It always comes back.
I love it. No doubt. No doubt. So what's better to you, singles or albums, and why?
Albums.
Yeah, I think as a fan, albums. But of course, we live in the age where sometimes it's just about grabbing attention. So singles, yeah, it's efficient on a, like, as far as an artist standpoint. But if we're talking purely as a fan, I want to listen to an album front to back and really feel the whole thing.
Yeah, I do love a concept album too. I think that's one of the things that got lost in certain spots in music, at least for what we're doing. Like people just stick to, let's put out a few singles or an EP, and then, they'll give us enough time to, do other things. But I think just having an album right then and there, I feel like it takes a lot of stress off, at least for like how I personally feel. I feel like it takes a lot of stress off of, the musicians, and you can do so much with one album rather than like a few singles, I think.
I think that is outstanding for you guys to be so young, to have that state of mind about albums, because once again, in this time, there's so many people just singles. And, I have a band, Plastic Catastrophe, with Lord Nelson, and we're putting out singles and figuring out we've got enough material, like you were saying earlier, just to put out a few albums,
Yeah, for real.
Just trying to figure it out. What should we do? How should we do this? And now I understand it. And then when you said concept album, when I was with the band called Lies, the lead guitarist Sebastian and we did a concept album called Back on the Road. And man, listen, it was just, we did it ourselves, but it was amazing. We just went in there and just handled our business. And he's from France, and I'm from the States, South Carolina, of course. But man, it was great. So I understand what you're saying about the concept album also. Well, let me ask you this. So, Creeping Death by Metallica. So, what was it about this song that made you guys want to cover it, or just that you're fans?
Definitely a little of both. It's funny story, actually. Me and him are the only two that are actually on that recording, because that was supposed to just be kind of a for fun thing we did, because we were playing that song live kind of just as, again, fans of Metallica, and it was just a fun thing to do. We like busted it out almost as a joke at one of our shows. We were playing a bigger show in Worcester, and we were like, we just want to do something like a little next level, kind of like throw people off, but something that's, cool, people enjoy it. And every time we played it, we either got like, hey, that's a great cover, or, what song was that? Like, people might not have known it and then just thought it was ours or something. So we were like, no, we definitely want to like do it a good justice. And we felt like the cover was so good, we kind of wanted to record it just for ourselves. And then it came out as good as it did. So we're like, we might as well release it. We don't really, hold it up to, like the rest of our music, as in like, we don't necessarily care deeply if people love that one. That was more for just, the fans of obviously Metallica, but the fans of ours that are into that kind of thing.
I'm going to say this. I think you guys did a magnificent job of it, and it feels so much fuller to me than the
Thank you.
than the Metallica one. Now it just I don't know. I'm of course I'm not hating on Metallica. I'm just saying that you guys did a great job, and it's full, and I feel more of a I don't know. It grabs me more. It hugs me more. So
well, thank you.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Great job, vocals, musicianship, all of that. Man, it's great. Really, really.
Thank you.
So now I want to talk about because I had this before. So Star Killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was that how long ago was that released?
That wasn't that was it's like a few singles back, maybe the end of 2023, I think.
Gotcha. So the question is though, from the time you guys, that's a great song also, from the time you guys started to where you are now, how much do you feel you've grown?
I think you could probably answer that.
What was the last part of that? Sorry, I missed it.
How much do you feel that you've grown?
Oh, wow. I would say a lot. I think, every band hopes that there's a good amount of like linear growth and, things always improve, whatever. But the reality is, I'm sure as an artist, like there's so many ups and downs, there's so many different things you go through just in regular life that it's so much more difficult than people realize to just stay always beating the last thing you did. So for us, I think we've definitely accomplished that, which we're very proud to say. But, I think we've grown more almost as people than we did as artists, and that's I think what made that growth possible in a sense, if that makes sense. Like I think it was us growing that made the music better because it matured with us, so it allowed that real growth to be there.
Indeed, because you guys are still young, man, and just life, and you're still living life. And as my boy Mike Martin said, and I don't know where he got the quote from, but life can mess up the greatest plans that you have. And so you guys are still learning and going through, love, life, all of those things, man, you're going through right now. And then I know it's probably going to be a part of your music, so yes, indeed, man. I like that, man. You guys still learning. You're still so young, man. You guys are young, man. There's so much ahead of you guys, man. It really is. So how difficult or easy has it been being an independent band?
I'd say it's a bit of both. Just easy for the sake of I always say it to everybody, but there's no rush on anything.
Right.
Considering, like you said, like we're still young, and I don't necessarily care for checking my age or anything like that. I just like to think there's no rush on this.
Right.
No one's given us a deadline for anything, so in that sense, it's very easy. And obviously, I think the more difficult part is just trying to get out there. Because like Andrew said, and we got to consider it's not just Massachusetts and Rhode Island that we're near. Like it is just all of New England.
Right.
That that's where we are, and we have to go very far and beyond to where it's pretty much our comfort zone is gone, and we need to go to a brand new place. And it's very hard to do that, like being an independent band, but just with the right amount of effort and, like I said, no rush on it at all, we can make it happen. So,
yeah, I think it's a double-sided coin for sure, where it's like exactly that was put very well. Where like being independent as a creator is incredible, but being independent as an artist trying to succeed and grow, and it's difficult. Where you gotta look at every opportunity that comes your way a little longer than someone who's doing it for you might, to just understand the legitimacy of it, So we've gotten a lot of incredible opportunities, and then we've been promised a lot of things that just didn't happen. So
100%. It's the damn music business, man, which is so crazy. It's a lot of talk, There's a lot of talk out there, man.
For real, yep.
And you really have to have it just be even keeled about it, man. There's no doubt about it. But and being that you guys are the bank, you're the bank. The labels are really the bank, and of course, all of their connections and things like that, they get you out there. They spend that money to get you out there. But you guys are the bank doing what you do. So, hey, man, you just got to keep pushing, and you have a great sound, and you're handling business, man. So, just big things are to come, man. You just got to keep rolling and pushing, man. So
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So upon reflection, is there anything you would have changed so far in your music career?
I think it's going to get a little controversial. I think the only big thing I would change is, so short answer, no, actually, is there wouldn't be much we would change. But I think on a business level, I think we would just be a little less, we used to care a lot about what everybody around us thought, even though we didn't really, we didn't make the type of music that you'd think would make that happen. But then we just started noticing, especially like I mentioned earlier, our scene with a lot of bands, just a lot of people, so much going on. It's so hard to break through the noise that we would kind of rally up with bands that were friends of ours and stuff like that. But then the older we got, we realized it's harsh to say, but you can't always expect everyone around you to have your best interest in mind more than they're going to have their own. So, the person you think you're growing with could also be the person that's doing everything they can to make something not happen of yours. So I think we would just, stay a little more in our lane if I had to change anything. But we're doing that now, and it's never felt better. So
I love it. And I just want to say something to you because I had to learn also. You want to with family members and everything, but it's good that you guys are brothers that are in the band together. Now that's an asset to me. But friends and family beyond, they know who you are. So you want them to support you, but really it comes down to it. It doesn't matter. You want the global people to love you.
Right.
The people that really want to spend that money on you, that want to come to your shows, that want to see you. And so I had to do the same thing. Man, I was I love all you guys, but I don't care if you watch my show or not. I don't care if you come to my show or not. If you do, it's like the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on top. It's cool. It's love. But I want all these other people around the world who really enjoy the music for what it is and enjoy me for me being me. You enjoy Plastic Catastrophe and Lord Nelson because of the music and of the band, not because you know me like that. So, I hear you, man. I feel you. I've been there. And I had to get out of my own way. And just like you said, once I got out of my own way, I feel so much better.
You feel free. You feel like you're finally...
You can breathe.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, I agree with you 100%. So, what does success look like to SPC?
What's nice in a way is it looks different for all of us, which might sound a little disorganized. I know our manager is going to watch this, so he's going to be like, what do you mean? But no, in reality, it's, it's cool where we all have our dreams that we had when we were kids, all the places we want to see ourselves and stuff. He mentioned Green Day earlier. I know they had their DVD bullet in a Bible we used to all watch together where, they're playing Milton Keynes, they're playing for 1 million people. That was always what started it. But, the older you get, the more you realize everyone's dream right now and everyone's level of success they want to reach is, I guess, just, making music we love and making it matter to people. We can't force anything on anybody. We can't make people love what we do, but we just want to have as much of an impact as we possibly can doing what we love, because that's what got us started. Whatever that ends up looking like, it's the bands that made us do it. The fact that we could watch a live DVD or hear an album or something and make us decide, I'm 13 years old at the time. I want to, for the rest of my life, just do this one thing. That's incredible. And it gives people purpose and it gives people, something to look forward to every day. So if we could possibly do that for as many people as possible, that's, a dream come true.
I love that. Most definitely. So I kind of want you to get on your soapbox right now. I kind of want you to grab that Super Bowl trophy and stand up there with Tom Brady. You just won the Super Bowl. I want you to tell me, why is socially problematic children a must see and listen?
All right.
I would say for sure. Like we write music that we want to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and there's about probably 50 to 100 bands I could name that just like define us completely, and that hasn't changed at all. I think we may have swapped bands here and there of who we like, and we've changed it up a bit, but it's always been like a solid 50 bands or so. I think our singer Steven has a ton of charisma, and he gives an amazing performance every show. It's not, it's not 60% at once. It's 100% the whole way through.
Awesome.
We're more of a feel kind of band when we're playing live. We usually try to practice like a nice scripted thing that we do, but it ends up just becoming like an adrenaline party. We're all just super excited and like,
Right.
all right, screw everything that we just talked about. Like, let's just have like let's play as if we're playing at the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and it's for the whole game. Like that's kind of what we always strive for at every show. So I would definitely say, no matter where we play, we just want, a positive attitude, and we bring a ton of energy at every show.
Love it.
And I think, on top of that too, I think what's sets us apart, and, we say this confidently, no hate ever to any other bands, but like really we care so much more, I feel like I meet a lot of bands, and everybody's got their priorities in different places, and that's completely respectable. But I just feel like for us, like we want every single show someone to leave and be like, what did I just see? Like, how did I not know this band before I just saw this show? And we're blessed to get a lot of that. We hear that a lot when we play, but I think it also goes into the music as well. Like we don't just, write a song and be like, oh, cool, sounds good, record it and put it out. Like we spend more than enough time on each one to make sure like especially our singer, his lyrics and what he wants to deliver in that song is always so much bigger than what we're backing him with. So I think you mentioned Star Killer earlier. I think that was one of those times too where that really showed, where it was like the song was so much bigger than just what it started as by the time that Steven touched it. So it was like we need to really like give everything to like backing that really hard and like make a huge instrumental behind it. And I don't know, it's just kind of been our thing since day one, is just like give everybody everything. We don't want to be one of those bands that's like reserved or like write a certain song for a certain purpose. We just want to give everybody everything and just be like the bands that, like I said before, just made us want to do it.
Well, I'm going to say, and then love that answer. Love that seriously. And what John was saying about, doing something and you guys kind of practice something, but then when you get on that stage, it's just like, fuck this, man.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes back to something that Prince said also. He was like, there's never any show that he's ever done that has been the same show. He gets up on that stage and he just, he vibes with how the crowd is vibing, and, gets up there and he just does his thing. And I just see that's what you guys do also. You get up
Definitely,
there,
yeah.
you just let that energy transference be there, from you to the crowd and the crowd to you. And that's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. Just seeing what you guys do, it's love. It really is. And I just, hey, man, I know you are, but, continue success on that. So what can we expect from SPC for the remainder of 2025?
Well, it's a little tough right now. Usually we're a lot more. It's funny. We usually were the type of band where the end of the year before we're planning the coming year, which we still kind of were in this case, but this year's a little bit different of an attitude, I guess, in the sense of we're not. John touched on it earlier where he said, we have to remember that we're at a point right now where nobody's waiting. Like there's a handful of people, we're very lucky where there's a lot of people that do care and they want to hear more music or see more shows. But as far as like bigger picture, like, the places we want to go and the same things we want to do, we know we want it to be big. So we're kind of just trying right now to, focused our sights on writing a lot of music, recording a lot of music. We have a lot of stuff that we've been in the studio with right now that, we haven't talked to anybody about. We haven't told anybody what's coming because we don't want to give anything away just yet. We want to see how big we can make it and what other opportunities we can partner it with. And we're definitely going to play some places we've never played before this year. I will say that. We're, working on that at the moment. But other than that, it's, I don't want to say more of the same, but we're just trying to, always top the year prior. And I think this year has a lot of potential to do that. So I think it's where we're at.
I always get excited about, my guests, man. I haven't had a bad guest yet, man. So it's all
awesome.
love. And I've done a lot of shows, and I haven't had a bad guest yet. So what was the last song you guys listened to?
Oh, man. That's crazy.
What was I listening to just recently?
Like today? That's funny.
It's whatever. I love asking this question because it always makes everybody think,
Yeah, like it's funny today too. Like today has been such a busy day in my opinion. So it's like I think it was.
I often listen to a lot of podcasts, so that's why I'm trying to think real hard too, because I'm also like, I listen to a mix of a little bit of both.
Right.
I'm trying to think here. I think the last thing I listened to was oh my God.
I got mine.
What's yours so I can
mine was this morning I was going to grab a coffee and I think the song that ended as I pulled in the driveway was Hollow by Pantera.
By Pantera, okay.
I'm not too sure what song it was, but I can tell you it was a Slayer song. So that's all I got. I forget what the song was. It was the playlist was going on shuffle here, so I'm not too sure.
I love to ask that question because we as creatives, there's no telling what we're listening to.
Right.
It's not like we just like one thing. And I know you guys like many more things. So I always like to ask that question. And sometimes, I've gotten some responses. I was just like, wow. So it's like, if it's something that maybe I've not heard before,
I wish ours were a little less. Yeah. I wish ours were a little less predictable.
No, but it's all love, though. It's what it's supposed to be, though. Just in case, man. So the last thing is the floor is yours. Please let all these people and listeners and watchers know where they can check you guys out and support you.
Great. Yeah, we're on all socials as just Socially Problematic Children. Type it into any social media platform. We're there. I think we don't have X, Twitter. I think that's about it, though. We're everywhere else. Definitely Instagram is, the most active for us as far as live updates, always what we're doing. Everything that we're up to is either on our Instagram story or we're making a post there. So Instagram at Socially Problematic Children. Spotify hears everything first. And from there, music videos, watch on YouTube. It's all the same link. It's all the same name there.
Got you. Well, young men, once again, it's been a great time. Thank you very much for taking the time to spend some time with me. And man, it's just awesome, man. You guys, listen, I'm just once again looking forward to big things from you guys and Distilled Entertainment, Patrick, Ryan, Relentless. I love you guys, man. Hey, just continue to handle your business, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very, very much for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, once again, you know who it is. It is yours truly, the Lord Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed. From the podcast Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS Network with Five Royals Entertainment with these special, amazing, talented young men. Socially problematic children. Yeah. Thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I promise if I die, it'll be by my own sword. There ain't enough weapons you pussies could win.
shocking.
This is Danielle Weber, and you're listening to Live and Loud with the Lord. Nelson, that is.
Yes! First time, perfect. Perfect.
I nailed it. Even Alessandra's like, yeah, you did.
Right.